Hello, crafty friends. This is Maria from Maria's Crafting Corner. I'm so glad you stopped by my YouTube channel. We are going to work today on the rest of the alternatives for April's paper pumpkin. I don't know why, but paper pumpkin is a little bit too complicated for me sometimes. So last week, I'm actually it was a live, which is kind of surprising. I had a live where we worked on some alternatives to the paper pumpkin kit, and I think I got way too excited with it, and it took forever to get done, and I just had one alternative. So then that's the funny thing. So today, my thought is I'm going to just record a video with another alternative. It should not be too long, fingers crossed. And I'm thinking of posting a video a week on Thursdays for the alternative pumpkin video. So I hope that works for us all. Before I go on with the card super quick. I hope most of you know at this point in time that I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I would love to earn your business. I do have very good rewards that you can go and check out at in my blog at mariascraftingcorner.com, and it will all be linked below. Paper Pumpkin Kit, if you don't know about it, is a Stampin' Up monthly subscription where you get everything you need to make 9 projects. Most of the times it's cards, or maybe I'm going to say this differently. Since I'm a newer demonstrator, the ones I've been part of have been mostly cards. There was a beautiful little baskets for Christmas, but they are cards, but they do include everything you will need in that tiny box to get those 9 projects done. Now, they do send, or they do give some instructions, and I have them here. Ta-da! And they will tell you which colors this kit will match. As you know, or if you don't know, then now you do. Stampin' Up has this wonderful thing about color coordination. So if they tell you it's balmy blue, you know it's going to be balmy blue all over the across the border. When I say that, I mean with the stamping blends or the alcohol markers, with our inks, with our paper, like it all will match perfectly. So it's definitely one of the many reasons why I really like Stampin' Up. It makes that, just takes away that guessing part. Okay. This kit has several colors that it matches with, and it matches with balmy blue, obviously basic black, Bermuda Bay, crushed curry, evening green, granny apple green, and mellow mambo. And I am trying to stick to work in this alternative project with only what comes in the box, with the exception of, let me move to our crafting table. Ta-da! I love this switcher. With the exception of, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus because I think it's much easier than glue dots. Glue dots, I don't even know what I'm saying. It usually brings a sheet of dimensionals. If that's what you're going to use, it may bring some tear and tape, but I will use mostly this Stampin' Seal Plus, which is our strongest adhesive in this kind. And I say that because there's one that's called just the Stampin' Seal, and then we also have our tear and tape, but I'm not going to use that today. There is a possibility that I'm going to use a more multi-purpose glue, or Tombow multi-purpose glue, so I will do those. Of course, I have my scissors right here with me because I will need those. And so besides that, I'm going to use only what's here in the kit, with the exception of a white cardstock. I am not sure if I'm going to use it today, but I may, and black cardstock. Okay, and I am using those because it's my belief that you most likely will have some of those. I wanted to show you super quick the alternative project I did last week. was this beautiful box, which will fit in a regular 4¼ by 5½ envelope. And I think it's just super cute an idea, right? So you're able to send somebody some really, really good fun. If you missed this video, I'm going to link it up below. Oops, let me put it here. Up below. Sorry, it's kind of funny. But I'm going to put it up there, and I'm also going to link it in the description so you guys are able to access it if you're interested. That was a live, so same as always, lives are kind of funny on my end. This kit contains what you will need to do, 9 cards, like I mentioned earlier, and I'm just going to give you a quick look at what it brings. It brings this one, which are all fun folds. And we call fun fold because obviously it's not just a regular card that you close. So this is one. This is the second one, which I have not worked into, and we're going to do that one next week. That you will fold, and so once you take off these stars, notice, you know, if you can see, and the moon, then you're going to have different colors. I have a cute idea for this one. So it's going to look like that. And the last one, which is the one we used last week, is this one. Super cute. Okay, and these also come with, and I'm looking for it, I've obviously been using them, so some cutouts that you will be able to use. Every kit brings their own stamp set, and they also bring beautiful, these are gorgeous. Can you see them? They're like pearl little pieces of, because I can't tell what they are. Some of them are different shapes. Very, very cute. It also brings, it's all the envelopes you will need. And so we are going to work today with this one. As you can tell, I have my own. Oh, and it also brings a Mellow Mambo, and I have that already here. So it also brings what we call an ink spot. Okay, I am going to use my actual big Stampin' Up pad. A, because it's easier, and B, because I save these to share with my friends when they come to craft in the house and just have some stamping fun. So I'm just going to use this one. This is going to be the other edition. And I am thinking there is something else I'm going to use, and I thought about it, and I just kind of forgot. So there's that. I think we're ready. Oh, well, I guess, and the trimmer, right? So what we're going to do today is it's called a triple step card. I have my template here, and I also made a few, I think a couple of weeks ago or past week, I can't recall exactly. I think days are kind of merging. I had, I made a video with that one, and that one will be linked up there too if you're interested in watching that video. I am trying to decide which colors I want, and I have to say beforehand that although I like green, it's never my absolute favorite. So I'm not sure if I want to use, because I'm going to end up using the envelopes, okay? So I'm not sure if I want to use this one or if I want to use this one. I may end up using this one. Let's see. We'll put this here. I really like the, just the combination between these two. I can't help it. Not sure. Let's go with this one. I had thought initially we'll do this one. And you don't need a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. It's the one I have right now. So let's go ahead and cut our little piece. And we are going to need to cut it at 7 inches. And then, okay, let me move my stuff out there so it's not all in the middle. 7 inches, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a big cut. And we're going to need to cut this at 10 inches. So you'll have what we call A2, not that one, A2, 8/7 card, which means it's going to be 5 by 7, and it will fit in the bigger envelopes. Okay, so it will always fit. That's important. so we know where we're going to sand it. And I don't know why I put my trimmer away. I'm not sure what I'm thinking here. Okay, so now that we have this, we are going to move to the 2.5 inch mark. There's 2.5, and we are going to cut between, making sure I have all these measurements right, between 2 and 6. So we are going to use this trimmer. Let me move this a little bit so it's here. We're going to move this trimmer a little bit down. We're going to put this back into 2.5, and we are going to use this part of the trimmer. And let me do this 1 second. Let me see if I make it a little closer, will be better to see. I don't know if you can see it. So this trimmer has a ruler here that will help us with these more complicated cuts. Let me see if that works better. Whatever, it's not really coming clearly. But what that means is that we are able to do some of these different cuts because this ruler will help us getting all those specifics. So let's move up here, 2.5 inches, and we're going to cut from 2. So the 2 mark is right there to 6, which is right here. Okay, and I'm going to go all the way. I always try not to go all the way to 6 because I just feel that it's much safer to be a little bit below the 6 inch mark, because in the end I can use my scissors to get all the way to the 6 inch mark as if that's the case, but I can't fix if I go over the 6 inch mark in this case, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move to 4 3/4, and we're going to cut from 2 to 7. And I am looking here on my 2 and calculating the 7, and I'm doing this just to point it out to you. And there is more or less 7. Okay, and that's all the cuts we're going to need. Now we are going to look at this way, and we are going to start scoring here. So I would call it, obviously if you look at this area is bigger, so at the smaller area on the horizontal side, but it would be easier because once you put it at 2 inches, which is where we need to score, then it should all match. Okay, so I'm going to move a little bit. Okay, let me take disaster out of here. Let me zoom back a little bit so you can see better, and we're going to score. So it's again, it's at the 2 inch mark. We're going to score from the bottom of the bottom, from the top edge all the way to the second cut, which is here. Okay, all the way. Now I, Maria, like things quite in order. It's just easier for my brain. So we're just going to score the upper part before the first cut first. Now we have 2. Now we open our trimmer, and we'll move to the 4 inch mark, and we are just going to score between the top edge to the first cut. Okay, the previous one we did all the way. Now we're just doing to the first cut. And now we open back again, and I need to open our arm here a little bit. Let's see if you can see. It looks like you can. We move all the way to 7, and we are going to score again from the edge to the score mark, to the cut, sorry. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. There's the scores, barely. Okay, here's 7, here's 4-ish. Let me, you can see it, and here's 2. Now, going back to the second, let's call it the middle area, right? So we had already scored at 2. Now we're going to go to the 3 inch mark, and we're going to score between, and let me move this a tiny bit here so you can see better. We're going to score between those cut lines, okay, at the 3 inch mark, and we're going to open again our trimmer and go all the way to 6. And I'm just going to making sure that this is there because it will keep it all straight. This trimmer, I'm taking a second, just a second to show you. This trimmer has the advantage that it has a little ledge here, which will help you keep your paper straight, but it also has it here. So when you're moving to the 6, which is this, to the 6-inch, you will know straight because it's all, you know, it's have it there. And it's just obviously a continuation of this upper edge. Look up. Let me go back. So we are here, we're going to go to 6-inch, and we are going to score again in these two, between those two cuts. And I'm doing this a little bit faster just because I want the video to be a little bit shorter. I tend to talk too much. And now we're going to go back to the 5-inch mark, and what we're going to do is we're going to score between this bottom edge to this last cut, right? Or if you're coming from here, will be the first cut, but technically is the last cut. And that's all we need, okay? So we have it there. Now we can put this away for a moment before we cut the little pieces, but that's all we need. Now, let's see. We need to fold these. So these are fold, what we call mountain. Mountain is when it looks, if you put it this way, it's going to look like a mountain. We're going to fold this mountain too, these mountain too, and this mountain too. And if you see, I'm being a little careful with those folds because I'm trying just to kind of teach the paper where they need to go. And I'm doing it a little bit separately because I don't want these to fold, although it doesn't really matter, but because you're going to put some extra here, right? And so we're going to close this up, and boom, we have real quick our step card. I'm sorry, I was looking for my bone folder because you will need to let those folds that we just made where we want them to stay. Okay, so yes, we have to go through them, and that's it. Look at that. Isn't that super easy? And now it's just decorating. And so what are we going to do? What we are going to do is we are going to create, so in my brain, right, because this kit is called Change is Beautiful, and what I see is a wonderful story of a little worm, right? I forgot how you call this in English, so I'm sorry about that, but where the butterfly is, cocoon, is it right? And then the butterfly. So what we have is the story of change and evolution within the butterfly, and I think it's just gorgeous. So we're going to follow that story in these 3 steps. And so we are going to move these out for a second. Obviously, as you can tell, this is bigger than here, so we're going to do some cutting. Cutting dimensions, I will not include them in here. I will try to include them in the description. Actually, it won't cost me anything, but if you go to that description, in the description below, I will link the video for the other card, and it has a template and it has it all, so it's much easier for you to go through it. So what we are going to need to cut here is, and I even feel guilty cutting these things. I can't tell you. It's so sad. They're so beautiful. We are going to cut this at 2 1/8. Okay, this is the scoring, 2 1/8, and this, and the other one is 1 7/8. And I am trying to see which one I want. I'm going to cut. Okay, I'm going to cut 7/8 from here. And let me go back a little bit. Yeah, and then I'm going to cut 1 from here. And I'm using this piece because it's easier for me to hold my paper this way. So this other area goes all the way to 1 1/2. But I'm going to cut an inch in there. Okay, so this is going to fit just perfectly in here. And we're not going to do any more than that, okay? There it goes. Now, let's go to the next one, and I'm going to cut these that is scored because obviously we are not going to need that. I was being a little rebellious there. And we are going to cut this one. It is 3, you know what, that one was probably wrong. Well, we're going to be saved because, yeah, I cut it wrong. But it's okay, people. We will survive. This one it needs to be 3. So 3 is the length, and the width, let me put it in here. Maybe it's easier. 3 is this length, and this measures 2 1/4. So we need to put the 2 1/4 is this area. So be mindful that there's a pattern, right? That's what I'm trying to point out. These has a pattern. We need to be mindful which one is going to be up and looking in the direction we want it. So because that one is 2 1/4, this needs to be cut at 2 1/8. And here's 2 1/8. And then I'm going to do kind of the same thing. This has to be 2 7/8. So I'm going to cut 7/8 on this end. I'm going to cut a little less. So I'm going to cut, that was just 3/4. And that's because I really want the cocoon to stay there. And then let's calculate. Yep. We need to cut it to, okay, let's go slower because I don't want to mess it up. I think that will do. And if it doesn't, then we'll fix it. Yes, it does. Okay, that's where we want it. And then finally, this is the big spot. I think this is going to be a little longer, but we're going to cover this anyway. So I'm just going to cut the edges. And of course I have to cut this because it has the score line. So let's get rid of that score line real quick. And we are going to cut these. Is supposed to be 5, and that's 2 3/8, I think is what I need. 2 3/8, 2, and that's too far. Where am I? 2 1/2, 2 3/8. And if you, I'm going to tell you this, if you're not very good with this math, welcome to my world. I have been learning little by little about it, thanks to being in the card in this world right now. So it's kind of funny, right? Okay, so now we have our tiny pieces. This one, which is the one we cut wrong, but it'll be fine because it's black and you will be barely, we would not be able to see it. And here's the next one. Okay, so let's glue them, or we're actually, in my case, we're going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus. I am bringing my silicone craft sheet just because it helps a lot to get these, to get my workspace not messy. Now, this one, remember, is shorter, so we are going to align it to the top. Okay, that one's one. Now, this is the cocoon that goes in the middle. Okay, we go ahead and always align with the top, because in the end, you will not be really able to see down below, right? And then we're going to go with the smallest one, which is the one I made a calculating mistake. It was not calculating. I was just looking at the wrong piece of it. And there we go. How easy is that? We are going to get let me move this 1 minute. We're going to get the envelope and we are going to chop it. And I know it's almost a sad moment because it's just so beautiful, but we need that paper to put a little bit of extra decoration. And we are going to go this way super quick and get done. Okay, now that we do that, we have a longer piece that we can utilize to put in here. Now that piece is, so this area is This will be 7, and I think this is 2, right? So we are going to cut it, and I am just going to cut the glue, obviously. And in spite of the fact this is not straight, yeah, I'm going to do this anyways, because I can't use this piece and I need a long piece, right? I need a longer piece. So I'm going to cut this. I feel awful cutting this beautiful, uh-oh, that didn't go all the way. Cutting this beautiful envelope, yeah, it does not feel great. And now we're going to cut these. This does not have an up or down, and we're not going to see a whole lot of it because that's where the white is going to come in, so we can stamp on there and put some of our decorations. So we are going to use these. It needs to measure. We said 2. Uh-oh, can you see? This is why it's so awesome that this has the lines all the way here. This is telling us that no matter how I did it, I did not do it straight. So we're going to cut a little bit more. So it is straight. And now, see how useful are those lines all the way? So you can really see that through. So we need to go to 1 7/8, and that's where we need to go. And I'm going to cut all the way. Put that aside. And this has to extend to 6 7/8. And I'm going to make the most out of this longer piece, obviously. So I'm going to cut on this side because the score is here no matter what, right? So we'll have to disguise that somehow, and we'll figure it out. So we said 6 7/8, and cut. Okay, that's our piece that's going to go down there. And now we're going to cut a piece in white that it's going to be 1 3/4. And I swear to you that once you get used to the fractions, it gets you. It's just really easy to do when you're following this. I am planning, by the way, in creating a class for basics, very, very basic information, just because the way I think I'm going to call it is let's learn together, because I am not an expert at this point in time, nowhere close to that. And so I think that we can really help each other with questions and try to figure out how to learn more about stamping and making cards, and we can do absolutely that together. See what I was saying? You will barely see that there was a score there. Now, let's go back here a little bit to what we want to achieve in this card. I've shown you how beautiful and some of the beautiful things it says in the other video, but it says, I believe in you. May this new season hold wonderful new experiences. Sorry. I am so proud of who you've become. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful sentiments. I just love these. I have to say, I know I've mentioned it, and now I know what I was going to tell you guys that I was going to need. Usually the paper pumpkin comes with a little block, and I can't find a block. I usually have it here just to show you. The paper pumpkin kit, so the first time you order, it brings a block, and that's the only time you're going to get it. And I can find it now, because why would I? The only thing I'm just going to use different is one of my stamping blocks. You don't need this. These are much better. They're wider, and I'm really sorry I don't have the actual. I'm still looking for it. I found it. It's so good. Okay, this is the stamping block that will come with the paper pumpkin. I'm just going to try to use this so you can see it better. Okay, so as you can tell, it's thin and it's very nice and useful, but I do prefer our stamping blocks. So if you don't have one, I really recommend you get one. These are very, very good, and I do love them. Now let's go ahead, put our greeting there. Let's try to put this card together for 1 second so we realize where we want this. So our caterpillar is going to come here, right? he turns into a cocoon, and then we'll have our butterfly up here. Now, this butterfly can be off on this side, but not on this side. Otherwise, it will mess up with our, the envelope. So we can be mindful of that. It can go that way as long as it's in this side, because obviously, as you can tell, once you open or close it, it won't really matter. So if we put that there, I'm thinking I want these here, maybe in the middle, and I am going to use these thing brings another butterfly here that I'm going to use. It also brings several cutouts with flowers, and I think I'm going to use some of those to decorate up here. Okay, not in the middle, but somewhere. So we're going to have this butterfly here, this in the middle, and some flowers. I think that looks good. It's always good to plan ahead. I did not do that. This was kind of a decision I just made. Oh, we're going to go for it. But my suggestion to you is always stamp whatever you need to stamp before you glue it to the card. Ask me how I know that. Every time I do it differently, I make a mistake. And then my card is not ruined, but it means I have to work extra to get that solved. So I always try these, the stamps in my grid paper, because it just helps me to see that it's all good, it's working well, and I'm not going to make a mess. And that's one of the reasons why I love the grid paper, right? You have time. So I said it's not going to be in the middle. It's going to be like up here, because I don't want to have to calculate where the middle is. I know that's not very good, but it's going to be up there. Okay. The other tip I'm going to give you, and this is just from many years of not being able to do anything straight, is if you don't know, then if you don't think you're going to put it straight, then do it crooked, right? It looks just as cute. Just as always, do clean your stamps. It's very important to clean your stamps. Okay, these brings like, I am not even, it's like grass, I think. Don't laugh at me. It looks like grass to me. What do you guys think? Right? It's like kind of grass with flowers-ish. So I'm going to put a couple, like one there and one up here too. And it's just to create some interest in the card. And nope, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not sure, so let's not ruin what we already have. Okay, I shouldn't have done what I did. Don't take your stamps when they're dirty. That's why you have to clean it. And I rarely ever show you guys this. This is my chamois case, and this is where I clean my stamps. These are with water. These are our chamois. And if you clean your stamps right away, then they will last forever. They're very thankful when you keep them clean. Now I'm gonna close these, even if we may use it later, just because I think we need to take danger out. But actually, let me go back to my stamps. We're going to bring that beautiful butterfly. I was thinking in Spanish, sorry peeps. Doing the same thing, and we are just going to put it right here. Okay, that is our beautiful butterfly. I really like it. And again, all we're using extra here are some materials that I think if you are into scrapping or scrapbooking or paper crafting or whatever, you probably already have, right? A bone folder or extra type of glue or whatnot. So let's go ahead now and put this one here, and this is where I am going to use glue. Now let me tell you why. You'll probably see, even it happened in my video yesterday in the live. So here I am going all fancy with my Shanassi, very beautiful, I have to say, 5-step card, gorgeous card, and as I am putting this, it'll glue the wrong way, and I don't know why, but I just have such a hard time gluing this longer pieces. I don't know. You would say I've never done this, but I swear to God I've done this for a few. But the reality is none of us is perfect, right? We know that. And so I think that that's where glue comes in. Glue is, and that's another tip, if you're not sure that you're going to get it straight, use glue, because glue gives you a little bit of wiggle time before, you know, it goes, and so you're able to cover your mistakes a little better. And again, ask me how I found out that out. So now you can see why it didn't matter that this piece didn't go all the way, because you're not going to see it in here. What do you guys think so far? I hope you're liking it. We are going to put our little worm, I forgot its name, in English. It happens. I know you guys know that it happens to me often. I know I have an open, oh, here it is, an open set of dimensionals. But again, the kit brings its own set of dimensionals, okay? So you absolutely can use your, you know, the ones that come in the kit. Actually, I just save them, and it saves me some money when it comes to getting my own set of dimensionals. So that one looks there. Again, it doesn't matter that it's a little high, because this will cover, it will fit perfectly in the envelope. And we're going to put our friend up here. I think I want it like so. We are going to use the last of the dimensionals I have here. And by the way, if you've seen my videos before, you know that I will use this area to glue as well. I don't waste anything. We have to be mindful of that. Make sure we don't waste anything. And just like I do that, I will say over and over again, when you're putting dimensionals, don't be stingy. We're gonna put just one. Oh, it's not the last one, but almost. You're rebellious sometimes, in the middle. So our butterfly goes, and I love our take your pick tool, which I just call it my magic wand, because it's just one of the most useful tools you'll see. And I said I wanted it like so ish, like this. And I'm gonna tell you why, because this one is coming this way, and if I see it this way, it looks like it's going like in a line, and I for some reason don't like those lines like that. So I'm gonna put this one here, and now we're gonna go and find let me see, because I have one last I know I've been using this kit a lot. I love it. So we have a big flower that we would be able to put here, or the small flowers. I'm trying to decide. And you know what? I like this big one here. I can't lie. This is the one I like. It's gonna cover all that, but it'll be fine, right? I think this just puts the perfect pop to this project. And I am going to use glue in this case. Okay. And we're going to put it up here. Just right enough to cover those. And that's our card. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to show you something and I completely forgot, but our new catalog comes live May 3rd. If you want it, please let me know. Email me to Maria at Maria's Crafting Corner. I can't show you anything else by the catalog. It has so many beautiful goodies. One of my favorite is a suite called Hues of Happiness, and it has the most beautiful paper. I can show it to you. It's just I don't want to make this video long. Oh, such a happy paper. I can't tell you how much I like it. And if you, this is how I store my paper, just super easy. And I always include a cut of what comes so that it tells me which colors it matches. Again, that wonderful color coordination. Okay, there you go. That is our card. I think it's perfect and glorious, and it will make somebody very, very happy. Um, if you have any doubts, please send me an email to Maria at Maria's Crafting Corner. Leave a message below or a comment below, and I will answer right away. I will always, check those out if there are any questions. I will gladly answer those. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps us a lot here in YouTube. And if you really like this video and the previous videos, hit that subscribe button and you will get notification of, well, that is if you get the notification bell. So ding ding, hit that one. So you know whenever I will be live or when a video is uploaded. Again, please leave me a comment. Let me know if you like it, and I will see you next Tuesday. Tuesday is the days I go live, and I have a super cute card coming. So it involves a little bit of coloring, so don't miss it. Thank you so much for being here. See you next Tuesday. Bye.